The groom wasn't meth, groom wasn't me, so I chose to leave. I was born the sole heir to a Manhattan dynasty, a nepotism baby in the truest sense, but with a twist. The net worth of your average rich kid wouldn't even cover the allowance my father tried to force on me. In college, I met Vanessa Vance. We connected instantly and fell into a deep, consuming rhythm. After graduation, I told her I wanted to marry her and take her home to meet my family. She stopped me, her eyes blazing with ambition. No, I want to be the one to marry you, but you have to wait until I've made it. I promise. I'll give you the grandest wedding New York has ever seen. And when that day comes, I won't let you put a ring on my finger. I'll be the one putting it on yours. She hugged me tightly, and I was moved to tears, swearing I would wait for her. Kid, why did it take you so long to pick up? My father's voice boomed through the phone, immediately launching into a lecture. Dad, I'm still young. I don't know anything about the business. I can't come back and take over the empire yet. Let me get some real-world experience, and then I'll come home. You brat, how many times have you turned me down? Do you even want this family? Do you recognize me as your father? He huffed. I'm wiring you $100 million. Think it over, then come home. He hung up before I could protest. At that time, Vanessa and I were living in a cramped, 400-square-foot walk-up in Queens. Her heart was set on conquering the world. I wanted to use that $100 million to secretly mold her into a super CEO. Vanessa walked up behind me and wrapped her arms around my waist. Caleb, what's wrong? Did I hear someone telling you to go back somewhere? I rubbed my nose, guilt rising. Nothing. Just my dad asking when I'm coming home. He thinks it's time I settled down. I felt Vanessa stiffen against my back. Then, her voice turned soft again. Caleb, don't rush. Wait until I've made my mark. I promise to give you the most luxurious wedding in the world. Every man on earth will envy you. I believed her. The first time she said it, she had wept with such sincerity. I had no reason to doubt her heart. 2 years flew by. Vanessa had become the CEO of a publicly traded company in the city. We moved into a penthouse in Tribeca, just as we dreamed. Whatever I wanted, she gave me. If I glanced at something in a store window, she bought it without hesitation. But every time I brought up marriage, she'd say, it's not enough yet. Just wait a little longer. Early on, I told her, no, Vanessa, it's enough. It was enough from the start. As long as I have you, even if we have nothing, it's enough. Being together is all that matters. Caleb, I'm home. Did you miss me? I ran over like a puppy, massaging her shoulders and rubbing her tired legs. She leaned into me, cooing, Caleb, you're so good to me. I don't know how lucky I'll be when I finally marry you. She kissed my forehead. I always beamed at this, returning the affection with a kiss. This time was no exception, but then her phone rang. Before I could see the screen, she covered it. Caleb, it's a major client. I need to take this upstairs. She didn't come down for over an hour. I wonder what kind of deal took that long. When she finally returned, her face was flushed, her eyes sparkling like stars. What's got you so happy? Did you close a big deal? I asked. She pressed a finger to my lips. Don't ask about business. Just know that I'm willing to do anything to give you a better life. I felt a twinge of unease, but hearing her dedication made me happy. I carried her to the bedroom, and we spent the night tangled in the sheets. Vanessa never let me ask about business. She always said, you stay home and spend the money. I'll handle earning it. Every time she called this place home, I was too excited to sleep, and she treated me well, throwing luxury cars and watches at me, afraid I'd feel poor. But nothing in the business world could truly be hidden from me. I was, after all, the heir to the Sterling family. My family's influence didn't just cover New York, it spanned the globe. Initially, she was self-made and struggling, but hard-working. With my secret infusion of capital, even a fool could have succeeded. But then my family's private investigator sent me photos. Mr. Sterling, these were taken recently. The photos clearly showed my girlfriend, Vanessa, dining at Luke Bernardine with another man. I scolded the investigator. It's just dinner. Don't overthink it. Vanessa is a businesswoman. Dining with clients at high-end restaurants is normal. But sir, I investigated the man. He runs a subsidiary brand under our family umbrella. His assets are barely in the single-digit billions, so you've likely never met him. If that's the case, it's easy. I said, have him throw some business Vanessa's way. But sir, according to my investigation, they have no business relationship. I let it slide, but a seed of doubt was planted in my heart, ready to sprout. Until one day Vanessa called me. Caleb, I'm drunk. Can you come pick me up? He sped over. When I arrived at the VIP room, a tall, handsome man was helping her out. I stared at the scene, shocked. The old Vanessa would have broken a man's hand if he touched her, then apologized to me profusely. Caleb, are you upset? I didn't want him to touch me. She would have curled into my arms like a kitten seeking forgiveness. But this time, she just gently pushed him away. Stop messing around. Can't you see my boyfriend is right there? Stop messing around? I thought. Does that mean he can mess around when I'm not here? I felt a hollow ache in my chest, but when to take her from him. As I did, the man whispered, "You must be Caleb Sterling. Nice to meet you. I am Yunyan Thornton. We'll be seeing each other again." I wondered why he whispered if he just wanted to introduce himself, and what seeing each other again meant. Vanessa never let me near her business partners. I replied politely, "Yes, I'm Caleb." On the drive back, Vanessa, reeking of alcohol, nuzzled my neck. "Caleb, just wait a little longer. I'm almost there. When I make it, I'll give you that grand wedding, make up for everything, and give our youth a perfect ending." Her words were as sweet as ever, but for some reason, I couldn't find it in myself to smile. I parked and buckled her in. As I prepared to drive, her phone buzzed. She was asleep, so I picked it up and unlocked it with my birthday, her passcode. It was a photo from Julian. "Vanessa, look at this candid shot someone took of us. We look good." In the photo, Vanessa wore a smile I hadn't seen in a long time. I stared at the screen, sinking into thought. I tried to brainwash myself. This is just workplace harassment. I'll call the investigator tomorrow and have it handled. But I forgot, they had no business relationship. And Vanessa was worth millions now. She didn't need to drink with anyone for deals. Then more messages popped up. Should we hold our wedding abroad? The phone slipped from my hand onto my lap. I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. Wedding? Abroad? I stared at the message in disbelief. But then I thought, impossible. Maybe he texted the wrong person. Vanessa acts like she loves me so much. How could she marry him? Sure enough, when I picked up the phone again, the message had been unsent. Sorry, wrong person. I marked the message as unread, put the phone back, and started gaslighting myself again. He's getting married to someone else, and just sent Vanessa a photo. They're just friends. Why am I getting angry over a photo? But deep down, the anxiety was rotting me. As I drove away, Julian was standing in the shadows of the parking garage. "You have quite the tolerance, don't you?" He sneered. Back home, I changed her into pajamas. As I lowered her onto the bed, she suddenly wrapped her arms around my neck. Just as she tried to initiate something, a pungent cologne scent invaded my nose. Vanessa never wore heavy perfume, and she forbade her employees from wearing strong scents at the office. I shoved her away. She fell back onto the pillows, hair messy, looking up at me in confusion. Yet her voice remained gentle. "Caleb, what's wrong? Are you sick? Or did I do something to upset you?" "I'm not upset, and I'm not sick. Just tired." She stood up on the bed, wrapping her arms around me again, breathing softly against my ear. My busy man is tired? From what? Spending money? If that's it, I'll give you less allowance, so you don't have to work so hard. It's late. Go to sleep." I walked out and went to the guest room. The fake wedding. Back when Vanessa and I were happy, I never rejected her. Lying in the guest bed, my thoughts were a chaotic mess until I drifted into a groggy stupor. Sometime later, Vanessa, now in her silk nightgown, pushed open the door and slipped under the covers. I turned away, but she pressed her slender, warm body against my back, hugging me tight. "Caleb, I know you're awake. You're mad because I went drinking, aren't you? I won't do it again, okay? Please forgive me this one time." I gave a non-committal and said nothing else. I really wanted to ask, "Vanessa, what exactly do you feel for me now? What are you planning?" But I didn't have the heart to ask. I didn't want to know. I thought the incident would pass, but 10 days later, a notification popped up on my phone. "Julian Thorne requests to add you as a friend." I accepted. He messaged immediately. "Mr. Sterling, Vanessa just invited me to a party. Is her boyfriend coming? We didn't get a proper introduction last time. I'd like to get to know you. You wouldn't deny me that honor, would you?" I replied, "Why wouldn't I? Since you messaged me, Vanessa must be going. Don't worry, I'll be there. Let's get properly reacquainted." Just then, Vanessa hugged me from behind, resting her cheek on my back. "Babe, I have a gathering. Do you want to come? It's not business, just friends." I said yes. The next day at the venue, a rooftop lounge, it was all women, except for one man in a suit. "Julian. Everyone, let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Caleb Sterling." She linked her arm through mine and marched us forward. For some reason, the corners of my mouth twitched upward as I locked eyes with Julian. His expression was heavy, fists clenched. I ignored him, letting Vanessa lead me past him. I wandered off to the edge of the terrace to sip red wine and look at the city skyline. Vanessa used to avoid speaking even a single unnecessary word to other men for my sake. If a man touched her, she would beg for my forgiveness. But recently, she was constantly in contact with Julian, even bringing him to her girls' night. Vanessa approached me, holding a wine glass, looking elegant in her evening gown. My sweet Caleb, what's wrong? You look gloomy over here. Can you tell your future wife what happened? Every word dripped with tenderness and care, making me feel dazed. We clinked glasses. I'm fine, my little Nessie. It was just stuffy inside. I came out for air. She kissed my cheek, flashing a smile more sincere than the one in the photo. Just then, Julian walked over with his drink. Ms. Vance, can I steal Mr. Sterling for a moment? I'd like to get to know him. Vanessa's face instantly darkened. You can, but if you dare bully my boyfriend or say anything to upset him, you'll have me to answer to. The threat seemed out of place, overly aggressive. Julian didn't speak, just raised his glass and smiled. Once Vanessa left, Julian's face twisted into a smirk. Mr. Sterling, you don't seem happy today. Not unhappy, just didn't really want to come. Julian swirled his wine, looking smug. I sent those messages that night, and it's all true. I was standing right behind your car. I saw you read them. Vanessa is indeed marrying me. In 3 days, actually. She told me it's just a fake marriage to help me deal with family pressure, a strategic alliance. But I'm telling you, he leaned in close to my ear. I'm not just going to marry her. I'm never going to divorce her. My heart turned to ash. The next second, Julian grabbed me and threw himself off the terrace into the pool below, dragging me with him. Splash. He started screaming immediately. Help! Vanessa, where are you? Help me! Hearing the cries, Vanessa sprinted over. Seeing no sign of me on the deck, panic seized her. She saw 2 figures thrashing in the water. The pool lights were dim. She couldn't tell who was who. An excellent swimmer, she dove in without hesitation. She reached one of us. Vanessa, are you here to save me? Julian sputtered, choking on water. Recognizing the face, Vanessa immediately shoved him away and swam frantically toward the other figure. Julian's expression turned darker than the water. She reached me, grabbed me, and dragged me to the poolside. Julian, who could swim perfectly well, climbed out quietly. His eyes were red with rage. I looked at him, smiled weakly, and then passed out. Vanessa didn't even glance at him. She stared only at me, patting my face. Caleb? Caleb? Can you hear me? Answer me. Don't scare me. Seeing no reaction, she broke down wailing. She screamed at the bystanders. What are you staring at? Call 911. Beep, beep, beep. I woke up in a private hospital room. The ceiling spun. I turned my head to see the heart monitor and Vanessa slumped over the bedside. I picked up my phone and checked the date. Isn't today their wedding day? I murmured. Caleb, you're awake. Vanessa bolted upright. Do you know how scared I was? I was afraid you wouldn't wake up. If you didn't wake up, what would I do? Yeah, what would you do? She used to say I was her heart, her eyes. That as long as I lived, her heart beat for me. I smiled bitterly. Thank you. It's been hard on you. Vanessa froze. Panic flickered in her eyes. Why are you thanking me? What's wrong with you lately? You must be hungry. She wiped her tears, stood up, and straightened her clothes. Wait here. I'll go buy you some food. She rushed out. I sighed and closed my eyes. Less than a minute later, the door opened. Julian walked in and sat in the chair Vanessa had just vacated. Unexpected. She didn't save me, her fiancé. She saved you, the freeloader. I don't know why she's so blind for you. She even postponed our wedding for this. You really have some skills. I underestimated your status in her heart. But don't worry, he continued. I don't blame her for saving you first. Because she apologized to me. Julian played a recording on his phone. Vanessa apologizing profusely. Anyway, I won't bore you. She'll be back soon. Just a heads up. She's going to tell you she needs to go abroad. Be prepared. He smirked. As he opened the door to leave, he looked back. I hope Mr. Sterling can step aside and let us be. When Vanessa returned, I was sitting up. Caleb, look. I bought your favorite pan-fried dumpling from that hole-in-the-wall spot, and hot milk with sugar. Her concern seemed genuine. How could she love me and marry him at the same time? My tear ducts burst, tears streaming down my face. Seeing me cry, Vanessa panicked and started crying too. She hugged me, wiping my tears. What is wrong? Why do you ignore me sometimes, and now you're crying? Please stop crying. I'll marry you. I'll marry you, okay? Just stop crying. My sobbing slowed. Really? You really want to marry me? She nodded vigorously. Yes, I want to marry you. Then let's go to City Hall today and get the license. At that, Vanessa flinched. Don't rush. I have to go on a business trip for a week. You set up the bridal suite at home, and when I get back, I'll marry you. Okay. She sounded like she was begging. The light in my eyes died. Is that so? Yes. I'll marry you the moment I'm back. Wait for me. But inside, I thought, Vanessa, I'm sorry. I can't wait for you this time. After I was discharged, Vanessa ordered me to the couch and wouldn't let me lift a finger. Whatever the maid couldn't do, she did herself. Watching her bustle around, it felt like a lifetime ago. Everything was familiar, but the house was bigger, not our old rental. That night, she didn't fuss. She just held me and fell asleep. Early the next morning, she dressed up and prepared for her business trip. The departure. I walked into the living room and sat on the sofa. Can you skip the trip and stay with me? Vanessa went silent. Finally, she broke the quiet. Caleb, you know how business is. This is the last time. When I get back, we'll get married and live happily. Okay. I stood up, went back to the bedroom, and wept in my hands. I wish it was all fake. I wished it was a hallucination from drowning. But the woman I loved was going to marry someone else, and I could do nothing. I stood up and called my assistant. Where is the Julian Thorne wedding being held? 30 minutes later, I had the location. I put on the clothes Vanessa gave me with her first paycheck after graduation. I took my private jet to Europe. Even if we couldn't be together, I wanted to see her in a wedding dress one last time. At a chateau in France, Julian stood in a white tuxedo, looking sharp. Vanessa walked beside him, looking extremely reluctant. Julian's sharp eyes spotted me in the crowd immediately. My outfit stood out among the formal wear. Just as Vanessa was about to turn her head, Julian blocked her view and pulled her onto the altar. I watched them exchange vows. I don't remember how I left. When I reappeared, I was back home. The home without Vanessa. It was full of traces of our life. Her things were there. I was there, as if she were just at work. But she wasn't. She was gone. I sat in the dark from noon until night. Vanessa kept messaging me. I didn't look. I didn't know how to move forward. How did forever end before it began? How could she say we'll marry in a week while marrying him? Over in Europe, Vanessa panicked when I didn't reply. Usually, she'd call, and I'd answer instantly, ready to pick her up rain or shine. The more calls I missed, the more she panicked. He never ignores my calls. She looked miserable. Julian tried to get intimate. She shoved him away. What are you doing? Don't forget, this is a partnership, not a real marriage. We didn't even sign the legal papers. No papers, but you still want me to introduce you to the sterling heir? Dream on. You're mine tonight whether you like it or not. He lunged at her. Vanessa was stunned. It was supposed to be an act. Help Julian placate his family, get the big contract, then retire and live with Caleb. She'd been tricked. You liar. You bastard, she screamed. Thrown onto the bed, she kicked Julian squarely in the groin with her heel. He collapsed in agony. She bolted out of the bridal suite, running through the streets of a foreign city in her wedding dress. She felt a terrifying emptiness. She stopped and dialed my number again. Caleb, pick up. You said you'd always come for me. Back in New York, I stood up. I packed our matching shirts, toothbrushes, socks, everything, into boxes. I picked up a photo from the nightstand and a velvet box from a drawer. It held a ring. She had said she wanted to propose to me, but I had thought, I won't give you the chance. I'll propose first. The photo was from our college days, our first picture together, standing shyly apart. I put the boxes on the table where we used to eat. I tore the photo in half. I kept my half. I put her half back in the frame, face up on top of the box. I placed the ring box in front of her smiling face. I took the rest of the photos to the balcony to burn them. There were too many, so I threw them into the wind. They fluttered down into the courtyard like snow. I called my father. Dad, are you there? So? What's wrong? Calling in the middle of the night? Do you need money? I'll transfer it. No. Well, yes. Send me some money. I'm going to travel to clear my head. I'll come home in a few days. My father perked up instantly. Good. I'll send you $1 billion. Have fun, then come back. Your dad is always waiting. I hung up and slept until dawn. Leaving the home we shared for 2 years was hard. I walked out slowly, touching the walls. I slammed the door shut, ending our 6-year run. I bought a ticket to a remote island in Southeast Asia. Vanessa arrived home at nightfall. She walked in and saw photos scattered everywhere. Her eyes went wide. That Caleb is so messy, dropping important photos on the floor. I'll have to scold him. She was bordering on hysteria, mumbling as she picked them up. She entered the house and noticed a pair of slippers missing. Is Caleb still here? She searched, her heart growing colder. Not just slippers, everything of mine was gone. Caleb, where are you? I know you're playing hide and seek. Her voice trembled. She walked upstairs. The table was stacked with boxes, the same boxes we used to move from the Queen's apartment. She approached slowly. She saw the half photo in the frame. She opened the box and saw the ring engraved with her initials. The cold metal made her feel like she was falling into ice. On a warm beach, at sunset, I walked on the golden sand. My phone buzzed with Vanessa's calls. I didn't block or decline. I just sent one text. Vanessa, let's break up. Then I pulled out the SIM card and threw it into the ocean. Vanessa was holding the ring when her phone made the special tone she assigned to me. Her hand shook. She opened the message. Vanessa, let's break up. It hit her like a thunderbolt. She didn't call me back. She called her best friend, the one who took the photos of her and Julian. Are you annoying or what? I don't know. I told you I don't know where he is. He's your boyfriend. Why are you yelling at me? Go enjoy your wedding. The return her best friend realized she slipped up and went silent. But the damage was done. She hung up. Vanessa collapsed on the floor, disheveled and pale. What wedding? Only Julian and I knew. No, she knew. She must know where Caleb is. She called her friend back. Blocked. Vanessa drove like a maniac to her friend's apartment, running red lights. She grabbed her friend by the shoulders. Tell me, where is Caleb? Say it. I don't know. The friend stammered, terrified. Then how did you know about the wedding? Only 2 people knew. Why did you know? The friend stayed silent. Fine. Julian. I'm going to kill him. Vanessa called Julian. Vanessa, you finally called. Are you coming back? Where are you? I'll pick you up. You aren't worthy. The only person in this world worthy of picking me up is Caleb Sterling. Then why call? You ran away and left me alone. Do you know how embarrassed I was when my friend showed up? I don't care. Tell me, did you say something to Caleb? Silence on the other end. Then, what could I say? Just the truth. That you were marrying me, not him. You should have seen the look on his face. Ha ha. If you really loved him, would you be marrying me? You love money, Vanessa. Not him. Shut up. Just tell me where he is. I can't find him. You lost him yourself. Why ask me? What were you doing during our wedding? Julian hung up and blocked her. Vanessa used all her connections to find me. But how could she find the Sterling heir if he didn't want to be found? She stopped managing her company, spending every day searching. She even publicly confessed her cheating, writing out the whole story online. She posted, Caleb, I'm sorry. I was blinded by money. You were with me through thick and thin, but I kept thinking I needed more money, so you wouldn't leave me. I dug my own grave. Please just see me. Without you, I have no reason to live. The internet exploded. Julian's business took a massive hit and nearly collapsed. Some pitied her. Most said she got what she deserved. Vanessa just drank herself into a stupor at home, talking to inanimate objects that looked like my stuff. Eventually, she bought back our old rental unit in Queens. It's so cold, Caleb. It's so cold alone. Where are you? Months later, news broke. The Sterling family heir, Caleb Sterling, had officially returned to the family business. Due to privacy, there were no photos. My first act was to purge the subsidiary brands. Julian's company was dismantled in a day. Vanessa, being a CEO, heard the rumors. Initially, when she heard the name Caleb Sterling, she wondered, but she couldn't reconcile her poor boyfriend with the Manhattan Prince. When she heard Julian was destroyed by Caleb Sterling, she knew. She rushed to Manhattan. She had to get my forgiveness. But seeing me wasn't easy. She was a millionaire. I was a billionaire. She screamed my name outside my office tower for days until I stopped going in. Finally, she found my private residence. I saw a figure at my gate. She was wearing her old college hoodie, the one she wore when we first met, and a ponytail. No makeup, pale and haggard. I stopped. You're CEO, standing outside someone's house dressed like a broke student. It's undignified. She hugged herself. Caleb, I'm cold. I went back to the rental. It's freezing without you. Can you hug me? I stood still, watching the performance. Caleb, I was wrong. We can't break up. I didn't agree to it. Her voice cracked. I felt nothing. Vanessa, listen. Love is a two-way street. When one person gives up, it's over. You gave me up first. I gave you a chance. Remember the day before you left for Europe? I knew what you were doing. Julian told me, but I told myself to wait. I hoped you would choose me over the money. If you'd stayed that day, you'd be by my side right now, not across the gate. No, believe me, it was for us. I just wanted to make enough money so we'd never be apart. I realized too late that I'd blocked my own path. She wept. Enough. Move. You're blocking my driveway. No, Caleb. Come home with me. Let's get married right now. I know you're just mad. He stood firm. Vanessa, City Hall is closed, and we are finished. I pushed past her and walked toward my front door. Caleb, you were never like this. You never pushed me. I turned around. You knew who I was. But where were you when I loved you with everything I had? Now that I don't love you, you stalk me and beg for marriage. Am I a dog you can call over and kick away whenever you want? She shook her head wildly. No, I'm sorry, please. I don't want anything else. Just you. Vanessa, I will tell you one last time. We are over. Do you understand? She grabbed my arm, screaming. No. Who are you? You're not Caleb. Caleb loved me. Give him back to me. I ignored her and went inside. From a second-floor balcony, I watched her squatting by the gate. She looked up and saw me. I used to wait for her on this balcony. I knew you still cared, she shouted. I scoffed. Ms. Vance, don't flatter yourself. I just don't want a liability lawsuit if you die on my property. Please leave. The crash she left, defeated. But the next day, she stormed my office building. She climbed to the roof wearing a wedding dress. Crowds gathered. I heard someone was jumping and rushed up. Are you insane? Get down, I shouted. She screamed back. Caleb, I'm not crazy. I just want you to marry me. She held up the ring I had left behind. I shook my head. That ring belongs on Julian's finger. Why bring it to me? No, you said you'd put it on me. Put it on me now, please. She smiled a broken, tragic smile. Say you'll marry me. Carry me down. I didn't move. She looked dead inside. Just as she prepared to jump, a firefighter tackled her to safety. She collapsed in the wedding dress, sobbing. I turned and walked away. I thought that was the end. She disappeared for a while. I went back to my life. Until one day, she appeared at the company in trance again, wearing the wedding dress, holding a bouquet of white roses. I walked out, and the crowd parted, staring. What is this performance now? I asked. She stepped forward. Caleb, you said white roses represent loyalty. Look, I want to marry you. Will you take me? You used to chase me. Now it's my turn. She held out the flowers. I didn't take them. Vanessa, enough. Jumping off buildings, public proposals. Do you just want to humiliate me? Then let's go somewhere else. No grand wedding. Just a rental apartment. Anywhere. She was begging. Where I go is my freedom. Please stop appearing in front of me in that dress. I walked past her. She wiped her tears, whispering to herself. It's okay. Caleb is just angry. I just need to coax him. She didn't give up. She stalked my route home for months. One day, she was there again, but different. She wore light makeup to hide her exhaustion. She didn't beg. She just stared. I felt a shift. Are you here to say goodbye? Yes. Let's go. I'll buy you a meal. As a send-off. Okay. Can I hold your arm? Just for a last walk. Sure. She linked her arm in mine, walking agonizingly slow. She pointed out everything on the street, smiling, chatting away. I answered briefly, but she kept talking, knowing this was the end. At the restaurant, we sat opposite each other. It had been 6 months. I've been annoying lately, haven't I? She asked. Yeah. You don't want to say an extra word to me? It's not that I don't want to. It's just unnecessary. She closed her eyes and smiled. Memories flooded back. We used to be so happy in that tiny apartment. Now we were strangers. After eating, I stood to leave. Caleb, can I walk you home? She added quickly. No other intent. You used to walk me. I want to walk you this last time. I offer my arm. She teared up and grabbed it. We walked to my villa. They say a lifetime is long. Why was ours so short? She looked at me and kissed me. I didn't pull away. When we parted, I said coldly, Done? Can you go now? My voice froze her. She lowered her head. Okay. Suddenly, an engine roared. A car careened toward us. Julian was behind the wheel, eyes bloodshot. You two trash. One ruined my wedding, one ruined my life. Go to hell together. He floored it. Vanessa saw the car first. She shoved me hard. I stumbled back, angry, until I saw the vehicle. Vanessa smiled, mouthing something that looked like I'm sorry. I watched, eyes wide, as she was struck. Julian's car hit a utility pole. He stumbled out, face bloody. Damn it. Why aren't you dead? He charged at me. I took him down in seconds, pummeling him into the ground. I ran to Vanessa. See, you protected me, she whispered. I knew you would always protect me. My coldness vanished. I pressed on her wound, tears falling. Don't talk. The ambulance is coming. I really didn't have anything with Julian. I just wanted to give you a better life. I didn't know you were rich. I'm sorry. I know. Shoo. Caleb, I'm sorry. The flower she woke up in the hospital. I was by her bedside. She smiled weakly. You're awake. Can you hear me? It's my fault. If I hadn't run from Julian, this wouldn't have happened. She swallowed hard. But I really wanted to be with you. Her voice was a whisper. Only when I saw death did I realize you were my whole world. If you hadn't been there, all the money in the world wouldn't have saved me. I let the tears fall. The world is strange. Some things are out of our control. Yeah. Don't think. Just heal. She nodded. She spent the next months recovering. When spring arrived, she contacted me. Can we take a walk by the river? We met. The world was blooming. Vanessa wore a sun hat and a floral dress. We stood shoulder to shoulder. She picked a small red flower and handed it to me. Thank you. She looked down. Is there really no chance? The wind brushed our faces. There is, but I don't know if fate is willing. Her eyes lit up. I handed the flower back to her. Here, a flower for you. She looked confused. Count the petals, I said with a sigh. If it's an odd number, we have no destiny. If it's even. Vanessa nodded. Okay, I'll start. 1, 2, 3. Story complete.